Every year, the nursery fills up with the same old plants, the same coneflowers, the same daylilies, the same varieties your neighbor has been growing for 20 years. But 2026 is different. Plant breeders have been working overtime, and what's hitting garden centers this spring is genuinely exciting. Today, we're looking at 8 brand new perennial introductions for 2026, plants you have never grown before, with features that actually solve the problems gardeners have been complaining about for years. If you've been playing it safe, this is the year to try something new. Kicking off our list is Darkfire Crocosmia, a 2026 exclusive from Monrovia that looks like nothing else in the summer garden. It grows about 20 inches tall and combines 2 things you rarely see together: smoky dark foliage and bold bicolor flowers in red and yellow. If you want drama without the maintenance, this is your plant. Crocosmia is already one of the toughest summer perennials you can grow, and Darkfire carries all of that resilience into a completely new look. It thrives in full sun to part shade, handles summer heat without flinching, and reliably attracts hummingbirds from midsummer onward. Zones 6 through 9, so it covers most of the continental US. The smoky dark leaves set the stage, so the red and yellow flowers pop even harder against them. It's the kind of contrast that makes people stop and ask what that plant is. Pair it with something silver or chartreuse, and the combination becomes absolutely electric. Frost King Brunnera is the 2026 introduction that earned a Retailer's Choice Award at the industry's biggest trade show. And once you see it, you'll understand why. It's a shade perennial with massive heart-shaped leaves in a stunning white and green netted pattern that looks almost painted. It tops out at 14 to 16 inches, perfect for the front of a shaded border. Brunnera has always been one of the most reliable shade perennials, and Frost King brings that same toughness with dramatically improved foliage impact. Morning sun, afternoon shade, that's all it needs. It's also deer resistant, which matters enormously if you're gardening in areas where deer pressure is real. In spring, it adds soft blue forget-me-not flowers above that incredible foliage, giving you 2 seasons of interest from one plant. Even without the flowers, the leaves alone carry the whole shade garden. It brightens dark corners in a way that almost no other perennial can match. Prince's Plume Agastache is what happens when plant breeders take an already great plant and push it much further. This 2026 introduction grows nearly 3 feet tall and 3 feet wide, with enormous lavender-violet flower clusters that bloom continuously from June all the way until frost. That is one of the longest bloom windows of any perennial introduced this year. Agastache thrives in full sun and dry conditions. The worse your soil drainage, the happier this plant tends to be. It's deer-resistant, drought-tolerant once established, and the fragrance naturally repels many common garden pests. Once it's in the ground, it asks for almost nothing in return. The massive flower clusters are absolutely loaded with bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds from the moment they open. The fragrance alone makes it worth growing near a patio or walkway. If you want one new plant that delivers maximum wildlife, maximum color, and maximum season length, Prince's Plume is the answer. If you've ever grown Catmint and loved it, Catwalk Queen is about to become your new obsession. Proven winners introduced this 2026 variety as a significant upgrade over the already popular Cat's Pajamas, with flowers that are nearly twice the size and a bloom season that starts 2 to 3 weeks earlier in spring. It forms a wide, stocky mound that's nearly twice as wide as it is tall. Nepeta is already the gold standard of low-maintenance perennials. Drought-tolerant, deer-resistant, heat-tolerant, and almost impossible to kill once established. Catwalk Queen brings all of that reliability plus noticeably better performance in the garden. The thick, fuzzy leaves are more heat-resistant than previous varieties. The oversized flowers in lavender blue literally transform the look of the plant at a distance. It reads bolder, more saturated, and more intentional. Planted at the front of a border where that wide mounding habit can fill in beautifully. It looks expensive without costing a fortune.
Treasure Trove Rudbeckia is the 2026 introduction that the Proven Winners team themselves are calling a hot seller. And the reason is simple. It does what classic Rudbeckia does, producing those beloved golden yellow flowers all summer long, but it solves the one problem that has plagued Rudbeckia growers for years: disease. Septoria leaf spot has ruined many a Rudbeckia planting, and this variety is bred to resist it. All the toughness of Black-Eyed Susan, poor soil tolerance, heat tolerance, drought resilience, with added disease resistance built in from the ground up. You plant it, it blooms, the foliage stays clean and green all season instead of spotting and yellowing by August. That alone makes it worth switching to. Bright golden yellow flowers with dark centers on well-branched stems that hold their color from early summer straight through fall. The foliage stays lush and attractive all season, which means the whole plant looks great even between bloom flushes. If you've been burned by sick Rudbeckia before, this is your redemption plant. Delphinium is one of the most beautiful perennials in existence, and also one of the most frustrating. Floppy stems, disease issues, and constant staking have driven many gardeners away. Violets Are Blue is the 2026 introduction that changes that story completely. It's a mid-sized delphinium with stunning deep violet and purple flower spikes on stems sturdy enough that you don't need to stake them at all. Propagated by tissue culture to ensure every plant performs consistently, this is delphinium without the drama. The sturdy stems hold up through summer storms without collapsing. It's bred specifically for the kind of reliability that has always been missing from this genus in the home garden. The deep violet-purple flower spikes with crisp white centers are breathtaking in the summer border. They add vertical drama in a way very few perennials can. Place it in the middle of a border where those tall spikes rise above everything else and command the whole composition. Prairie Princess Vernonia is part of Proven Winners' new Native Roots line, a program specifically focused on breeding selections of native plants that perform better in home gardens without losing what makes natives special. Vernonia, also known as ironweed, is already one of the most intensely purple perennials you can grow. This new variety brings that wild beauty into a garden-ready form. Being a native, it's already perfectly adapted to North American soils and climate conditions. It's deer and rabbit resistant, requires no supplemental fertilizer, and once established, it handles drought without any help from you. The late summer bloom time is a genuine advantage. It performs when most other perennials are fading. Deep jewel purple flowers in late summer bring pollinators flooding in at exactly the time of year when most gardens go quiet. The rich color pairs spectacularly with golden Rudbeckia and the fading greens of late summer foliage. It's a bold, native, wildlife-friendly statement plant that garden centers have been sleeping on for too long.
Closing out our list is Unforgettable Hummingbird Trumpet from Plant Select, and that name is not an exaggeration. This 2026 water-wise perennial grows upright to about 2 feet tall, with narrow leaves and extra long, vivid tubular flowers that bloom late in the season, when hummingbirds are actively fueling up for migration. It is one of the most exciting late-season perennial introductions of the year. Water-wise means exactly that. Once established, this plant thrives with minimal irrigation, making it ideal for gardens in hot, dry climates or for gardeners who simply don't want to babysit their plants through summer. It's a powerhouse that handles the toughest part of the growing season without complaint. The extra long, vivid flowers are like a landing strip for hummingbirds. Every bloom is designed to pull them in. Late summer and fall are when this plant absolutely shines, carrying the garden's color and wildlife activity right up to the first frost. It's the kind of plant that makes you feel like your garden is doing something genuinely useful for the world. Eight brand new perennials, all hitting garden centers in 2026. Each one bred to solve a real problem or deliver something you genuinely haven't seen before. This is the year to stop reaching for the same familiar tags and try something that actually excites you. If this helped you discover your next great plant, hit that like button and subscribe, because we drop new gardening content every single week. See you in the next one.